Hello, everyone. Glad to be back. We'll take a lot of questions. The first thing I want to say is this. All we have to do is look around the world. Cyber attacks, North Korea, arrests, the deaths in Belgium, in France, and we now are facing a question here in the United States as to whether we're going to fund Homeland Security. I just think this is so out of line. We should put a bill on the President's desk as soon as possible that's clean. We don't need any riders on it. We need to get it done now. Countries around the world, in fact, as we speak, there were a number of announcements in Europe yesterday how they're increasing funding for their Homeland Security, and we are trying to level fund it. This is outrageous, for lack of a better word. Okay, questions?
Senator Reid, can you talk about your recovery and specifically the surgery you're going to have Monday and the outcomes
Sure.
doctors have said for you?
I know there are a lot of rumors as to what happened, but it's very simple. My wife and I were in our new home. I was doing exercises that I've been doing for many years with those large rubber bands, and one of them broke and spun me around, and I crashed into these cabinets and injured my eye. It didn't knock me out, but it sure hurt, and I was taken to the hospital, and we came back here after a couple of days. I have some bones broken around my eye, and on Monday, as I understand it, we're going to fix that. They're going to reconstruct the bones here. The bone that's broken is this one right here. It's been pushed in against my eye, and they're going to move that back out. Because of the injury, there's blood in the front and back part of my eye, and they're going to, after they do the reconstruction of that bone there, they're going to drain the blood off the front part of the eye, the back part of the eye, and they're confident that I'll be really quite good after that.
Senator, are you worried about your vision? Have you talked to Senator Paul, who's an eye surgeon? And is there any situation related to this that would cause you not to seek re-election?
No, not at this stage. The doctors have been very supportive of my plans. Nothing has changed during the time that I was first couple of weeks of recovery. My staff continued to be reviewed for my new campaign. So everything's online. My Nevada, we have quite an operation in Nevada that hasn't lost a step, but we're off and running.
Are you fearful about your sight?
Pardon me?
Are you fearful about your sight?
Well, I'm looking forward to Monday, that's for sure.
Do you support the municipal bill that would bring more on safety?
I'm sorry, let's say that again?
The bill would bring more safety on.
Right now, we have a moving target. I personally am doing everything in my thoughts and wishes that the negotiations succeed. But until we have something definite on the floor, I'm not going to be speculating on what I'm going to do. Right now, we have not had a markup, we've not had a hearing, and I'm going to wait until that happens. There are a number of different proposals by a number of different senators, and I'm going to be very cautious and deliberate in those that I look at.
Senator, the last year and a half that you were the leader, Republicans got, I think, 14 amendments on bills. Democrats have already gotten 9 amendments. They've only won 47.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's understand this. The success of a Congress is not determined on how many amendments people vote on. The success of this Congress will be determined on what happens to the middle class. The Republicans were very cynical during the first 6 years of the Obama administration. Very cynical. They opposed everything he did. And the middle class has been hurt. So I believe that this Congress will be determined whether it's a success or a failure on what happens with the middle class. And right now, what they've spent their time on is of foreign oil coming across America and being shipped to other places. That does not help the middle class.
Senator Reid,
Yeah.
Sir, thank you. When have the doctors told you that you might be back to 100%?
Yeah, I had met with one of the doctors yesterday, and he felt extremely confident that I would be fine.
Do you know how long that might take?
I hope. They told me I'll be down several days next week for obvious reasons, but there's no reason I can't come back to work a week from Monday.
Senator Reid, you said that you were.
Senator Reid,
Yeah.
can you talk?
Tall guy.
Oh,
You've been critical in the past of trade promotion authority. What's your view at this moment after the President's State of the Union address about trade promotion authority and the ability for this President to put these trade agreements?
I have always been suspect in my entire career in Congress of these trade agreements. I don't support fast track. Why? Because I have not been shown that these trade agreements have helped the middle class. I'll be happy to keep my eyes wide open, and if something changes, I'll change. But until that, it's shown to me that the trade agreements help the middle class, I'm not going to be jumping on the bandwagon.
Senator Reid?
Yes, the short woman.
Senator Reid, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how you're spending your day and also what's going through your mind as you sort of watch the Senate from afar.
As some of you know, I'm an avid reader. I read lots and lots of books. I've read some good ones during the break. Because I have not been able to read, they have told me that if you have an eye that's healing and you try to overwork your good eye, it puts too much pressure on it. So I haven't been reading. I'm now where I'm reading. For example, last night I was able to read, but I've been listening to audiobooks. I have quite enjoyed it, to be honest. I never thought I would. So I've finished a couple of books that way. I spend a lot of time with my staff on the telephone. I have staff meetings at my home, and I've had good. My daughter's been visiting with me. I've got son coming this weekend, so I'm doing fine.
What do you think what's happening on the floor, on the Senate floor?
What I think that Murray, Schumer, Durbin have done a good job. We've been in touch almost on a daily basis, and I think that, as I hope you've been able to see, I've been heavily involved in everything that's gone on the floor. There's been no surprises for me.
Senator Reid,
How Senator McConnell's running the floor? I mean, this has been a
Well,
change.
I'm not going to give him a grade. I think he's doing fine. Others can make that decision. Yes,
Senator
Steve?
Reid, can you talk about what concussion symptoms you experienced, whether you still are, what kind of treatment you're getting, and how that's going?
To my knowledge, I'm not getting any treatment for concussion. And although I do have a better understanding of the football players and baseball players who have concussions. No one's told me I had one, but perhaps I had. I don't know.
And are you looking at a product liability lawsuit, as far as the failure of the bans? Or?
Let's say if I were, I wouldn't be broadcasting it here, okay?
Senator Reid, you said that your Nevada operation is fully functional, and you've not decided at this stage to make decisions. But on a personal matter, given your family's health situations and your own situation, do you give any thought to this being a moment? Has that changed your future plans because of this accident?
No, at this stage, I'm fully intending to run.
Senator Reid, were you consulted by Speaker Boehner or Leader McConnell on the Netanyahu joint address? Was that bipartisan?
No. I wasn't consulted. Here's how I feel about that. I have a good relationship with Netanyahu. He called me, as a matter of fact, about my injury, which I appreciated. But he's a leader of a country. He's going to come, give a speech to the joint session of Congress, and we'll listen to what he has to say.
Just to follow up on Jeff's question, you said, at this stage, I'm going to continue to run. Is there a circumstance that may actually change your decision?
Manu, this question was asked me before the break, and I answered it the same way I'm answering it now. I plan to run.
Senator Reid, your predecessor
Oh, there you are.
Your predecessor in the Democratic whip role, it's my understanding that Senator Ford passed away this morning. Do you have any comments on his passing and any stories you'd like to tell?
Sure. Wendell Ford was a very unique man. As a new senator, I met with him. And, you know, only those that know Wendell Ford would appreciate what I'm paraphrasing. He said, I'm from Kentucky, I drink Kentucky bourbon, and I smoke Kentucky cigarettes all the time. I was his successor. He was a fine man, great background. People in Kentucky love him as they should.
Senator, if you all goes well next week and you come back the following week, will you be back 100% or will it be a part-time phase-in?
Well, I hope I'm back full time. You know, I may not be doing everything as I did before. I mean, although this morning I'm doing pretty well. One of the things I didn't tell whoever asked that question. I'm exercising again. There are things I can't do dealing with strength stuff because I can't be straining. But I'm walking a long time. I've worked up now to where I'm out walking for an hour. So I'm still doing my best.
Last question, guys.
What's that? How are my ribs? They're so meaningless, it's hard to believe.
Senator Reid.
I broke 4 ribs, but that's so minor.
Senator Reid, what was the brand of the exercise band that snapped, and was it effective?
Well, we have it, and we'll find out.
Senator Reid, you're a sports buff. Have you been paying attention to the controversy around the Patriots?
You know, honestly, my first opportunity to read, I started doing what I did before I got hurt. I read the sports page first. I do that because there's such good news in the sports page. And I've been fascinated in recent days with the Scherzer new member of the team, this Max Scherzer. So, yeah, I'm back. I understand what's going on. I did miss my sports activities. And as far as how much weight's in a football, as far as I know, I can't believe the National Football League, with the billions of dollars they make, couldn't at least determine how much air should be in a football. I don't see why it should be left up to the teams.
What did Senator Paul told you about your eye?
I haven't talked to him about that. We've talked a lot of times about a lot of things, but I haven't talked to him.
Senator, people have some questions. They're kind of confused about the degree of your injury, and have, as you alluded to rumors, people wondering what really happened. How do you react to the fact that people are curious about the circumstance?
Well, we didn't film it, but you know that's what happened. There's nothing more I can say.
Senator, is your left eye, what is the vision of your left eye?
20/20.
And has it been impaired at all by the
Pardon me?
Has it been impaired at all?
Oh, no. Every time I go in for my right eye, they test that. It's 20/20.
Are you in any pain, sir?
Am I what?
In any pain?
Well, you know, it's not like a spinal injury, but you know, I hurt my eye. It hurts once in a while. I take Tylenol once in a while.
I'm sorry?
I take Tylenol once in a while.
All right, thanks everybody.